Hi, Jujhar. I think this is your first time talking since coming back. Just how are you feeling after the injury and everything, and where are you at?
Yeah, I feel good. Last game I felt good out there, and I was able to skate a couple times through those 4 days. I think I wasn't playing, so yeah, I don't feel like I missed a beat. So I mean, confidence and the style of game I think is still there for sure.
Was it just standard protocol that you had to go through, or were there some things that needed to clear up before you returned to the ice?
Yeah, it was standard protocol. I think when something like that happens, I think the doctors and the trainers they're cautious about that. I mean, it's not only it's not about them at that point. It's more about my safety, and I had to pass a few tests, and I did that.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Jujhar, we've all watched guys fighting in hockey for years and years and years, and it's pretty easy to sit on this end of the TV and watch it. It's not a little different when you're on your end of the TV. That was an example of what can happen and seldom happens in fights. You've been in lots of fights before. Is it as dangerous as it looks?
I think there might be times it is. I think for myself, it looked a lot worse than I felt it was, and but like I said, there's that protocol and there's precaution that the league has to take and the team has to take for my safety, and yeah, like you said, that's something that can happen, and it's part of the game.
It's a part of the game that's coming out of the game, right? There's less and less fighting for sure.
Right.
Will it change you? Will you're not a guy that fights all the time, but you fight when you have to. Will it change your game at all? What happened?
I don't think so. I think that's just the style of game I play. It's a hard game, and there's going to be times where the other team doesn't necessarily like what I do, and at the end of the day, everybody's trying to be successful at this game and stay in the lineup, and that's what I feel like I bring to the table, and yeah, it's not necessarily me fighting every game, but it's when I have to stand up for myself or for other teammates. I definitely won't change that.
Your Matheson, Post Media.
I have to ask you, Jujhar, the hit along the boards on Shillington, it didn't look that bad. In fact, it looked worse the first time you saw it, but he was bending over and you hit him with your shoulder. Did you think instantly, I'm going to have to fight somebody after this?
No, I didn't. I didn't necessarily think that was a dirty hit. I try to let up there and definitely put my arms down and take everything out of play. But it was right in front of their bench, and that rivalry's there. And when I got asked, I definitely wasn't surprised, but at the same time, I wasn't really expecting it. But it's like I said, it's part of the game. It's something, if that happened to one of our guys, I think I would be in the same position.
And your penalty killing. Why is your penalty killing so good yourself?
I think it's having that plan in place, and lately I've been killing with Nuge and just the chemistry we have. I think both of us, we take pride in our kill, and I think that goes as a group. That's one thing that we think it's just as important as scoring goals, and for myself, it's something that that's a role that I've wanted to take on, and that I've really put a lot of effort and confidence in.
Jack Michael, 630 Chad.
Just following up on the hit on Shillington, Jujhar, is that a tough play when you're just going to finish your check and the guy doesn't straighten up? I mean, when you play the kind of game you do, is it tough to get out of the way of those sort of hits if a guy is in a prone position?
I think sometimes it definitely is. The game's so fast, and those hits like that and stuff like that happens quite often. And I definitely, my intent going into every game, I never want to be a dirty player that that hurts guys, or that's going for guys' heads, because obviously that's a delicate part of the body, and nobody wants to face those challenges of taking a headshot. So I think it is tough just because the game's so fast, but at the same time it's part of the game. It happens to everybody.
And then the other thing I had for you was just, you've scored some big goals against Montreal. Purely a coincidence? I'm always curious when I see guys' numbers against a certain opponent spike. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works out. I think everybody in the league does plays well against certain teams, and they end up getting points off those. I'm not sure why. Even looking at this team now, it's such a different team from 2-3 years ago, and like I said, I don't know why, but it's one of those teams I do enjoy playing. They have a lot of history, and just an all-Canadian battle is definitely a lot of fun.
Final two questions. Simone Olivier Larange, the press.
Hey, Jujhar, it's obvious that your team is mostly offensive and that you play in a division where every team score a lot of goals, but still your team gives fewer goals than last year's. How do you explain this? Do you feel that defensive play has been changed between this year and last year? What has changed actually?
Definitely, I think a lot of it's maturity as a group. You see those teams that go along in playoffs and make it far. They usually during the regular season have the least goals against, and it's one thing that builds confidence as well, giving up less goals, and that's been a plan of ours since Tip's been here, and even before that. And like I said, I think it's just maturity of a group coming together and really playing the right way.
What has been in this process? What has been the impact of a guy like Darnell Nurse, who seemed to emerge like really the huge quarterback you have this year?
He definitely, there was a big responsibility coming in, especially with Clefbaum out, and Darnell took it with open arms, and he's done a tremendous job back there. He's producing offensively, and he's a beast in the defensive zone. So we all trust them back there, and I think his confidence just working through off seasons and game by game, I think it's really showing out there, and he plays that way game in and game out.
Final question, Michael Tracos, Post Media.
Yeah, hi. I'm just curious. You guys have a chance to take sole possession of first place tonight, and a few weeks ago when this team was humbled against the Toronto Maple Leafs, it might have looked like Edmonton was going to go maybe the other way in the standings. In previous years, it might have had that effect. What changed this year, and what's different about this team, which is 7-2-0 now since playing Toronto?
Yeah, like I previously said, it's maturity of a group, and we know that there's teams or all teams go through a little drought throughout the season, but it's the teams that bounce back as quick as possible. And I thought we did a great job after that Toronto series, and we were never down and out. That was definitely a tough series for us, but we took it as a learning experience. We're gonna get another chance at them, and just playing game by game. We're not worried about where we are in the standings. We're just kind of taking it moment by moment out there, and trying to play the right way and building off wins.